And I have a delicious meal to share with you today, and it's all about low carbs, and I call this my low carb goulash or keto goulash. Però la prima cosa che devo fare è prendere il fadale. So what did I say in Italian? The first thing that we need to do is to put on the fadale, to put on the apron, and today I have this beautiful one. It's all about the bees. It's to be positive, that we are special, love, unity, and peace throughout the world and throughout our homes. This deliciousness, I'm going to walk you step by step. It is so tasty, and I love to make this weeknights, weekends, whenever, you know, I have these beautiful tomatoes, and my tomatoes right now are just growing and giving me constant tomatoes, so I have some tomatoes. But the one thing that I'm going to do is I am going to start by having all the ingredients. If you scroll down to the recipe, you will find all of the ingredients and all the measurements. So I am going to start. I took out my ground beef out of the refrigerator a good 20 minutes so it comes to room temperature. And I am going to start right now my pan at about medium to medium heat here. For some reason it's moving, it's doing its, wow, it's magic. And I'm just going to add a little bit of olive oil because I am using ground beef. And then I'm just going to add my ground beef right in there like so. So it starts to do its thing. And what I want to do is I'm not going to cook the ground beef 100% all the way. I just wanted for it to rend most of its fat. I am using all organic ground beef. And then what I want to show you now while this is doing that is that I am going to be utilizing some zucchinis. And then what I have this wonderful concoction here. It is called a Veggie Pro. It has all kinds of different wonderful, you know, things that you can make, you know, spiral veggies. Let me bring it to you. It can make a ribbon cuts, thin spiral. And then what I do is I take my zucchini and then I get a plate like so. And then I just start to start just creating this beautiful spiral. It's like a spaghetti. And then what I do is once I do that, and as you can see how wonderful that is that I put it in boiling water, boiling salted water for 2 minutes. I want mine to be croccante. New Italian word, croccante. You know, crunchy. And then what you have is you have this deliciousness that you can also, you know, do this during the week, and you can add eggs to that if you want something low carb. And I just wanted to show how this works for you. Let me move this out of the way now. And then what I do once I put it in my for the 2 minutes in the boiling salted water, is that this is what you have, okay? And then I just make sure that you have a bowl so it catches all of the water, because you know zucchini, it has a lot of water. And then I just cover it. And now we're going to make this beautiful, delicious sauce that I show you how we're going to do that. That's going to go on top of that. So then now I'm sauteing in my ground beef. Let me turn this down some. And like I said, I don't want it to be completely all cooked because I want to continue to cook it with some onions. I just like to do it like so because it now starts to release a lot of the fat and juices, and sometimes it's a lot, and I just don't want, for me personally, a lot of the oil from the meat. And then this is looking good. So then what I get is I get another bowl, you know, with a colander. And then I just come over here so I can drain it. See what I'm doing? It's still not 100% done. I put this right back on here so I don't lose the wonderful heat. And hopefully it is doing its thing. And then I'm going to put the rest of my olive oil. Because what I want to do next is to add my onions to this. And this is what's making the wonderful, delicious goulash. Again, all the ingredients, all the measurements, guys, is by scrolling down on the recipe. I'm going to turn this up now. Because remember, I have my meat that is draining. See all that juice right there? And don't worry about that, because we're going to be adding some other wonderfulness to that. Let me grab a paper towel right here, because I got some on there. And usually when I work with meat, I like to put something down just in case. Okay. So then now my onions are getting translucent, and that's what I want to do. And we haven't done any seasoning yet, but the seasoning is coming. The seasoning is coming. Now that my onions are almost there, this goes really quick, guys. It doesn't take a lot. Just going to make sure that I get all my olive oil in there. Now I'm going to add the rest of my beef in there, like so. I'm going to put this on the side. I'm done with that. And then I'm going to come in here and saute my beef with my onions. And then I am going to add my wonderful deliciousness of my herbs and my paprika. And I also added a teaspoon of garlic powder. You don't have to do that, but I did because I wanted to. And it's not, it's not part of the recipe, but this is in case, you want a little extra garlic. And I love garlic. So I'm adding it all in here. That's going to give such richness and deliciousness to this dish. And now I'm going to add my garlic. My wonderful garlic goes in there. Like I said, this goes really quick. And then I'm going to add my tomato paste. And I like to kind of add it in the middle. Because I like to kind of cook my tomato paste in the middle. And see, there's still quite a bit of the juices that it's rendering from the ground beef, as we are speaking about the ground beef and all that juice. And it's a lot of the fat, and I just like to just, remove that, because I don't want this to be very, very fatty. Although, keto does have a lot of, more fats, but personally, I don't want a lot more of the fats. Then I'm going to add my tomatoes now to that. My wonderful beef broth to that. And my tomato sauce. Very simple transaction. And this is just going to cook with all this deliciousness. And then I'm going to show you what the next step is going to be. Simple and easy, delicious, low carb, and it's going to go over those beautiful, wonderful zucchini noodles that we're making. Now, if you do not want it to be low carb, you can utilize some spaghetti that they can go over this. But check your carb content if you are, thinking about keeping it low carb. And this is just I'm going to turn this down, and I'm just going to let this, do its thing, because it's still having this beautifulness, and it's all coming together. I am just going to taste it real quick, just to see what it is on the, oh yeah. Oh, it's so tasty. There's a lot of different goulashes depending on what parts of the world you go. There's German goulash, there is Italian goulash, or they call them sauce. There's all kinds of different goulashes. And I really, really like this one because this one is low carb, and I call it Keto Goulash. Then I'm going to get some parsley that I have right here. How much parsley? Maybe a tablespoon. And this is my beautiful parsley that I grow. Look how beautiful, my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Stems it all. And I am just going to chop this baby up as my wonderful goulash is slowly simmering. Let me turn it down because we want it to simmer. Because this dish is almost done, guys. Remember, when you are doing these spiral zucchinis, it only takes 2 minutes because you want it to be al dente. You don't want it to just fall apart. You want it to hold. So what I want to do is I just want to continue to chop, and you can roll it, and then that way you can get everything. You know, safety first. You know, make sure that, you know, you keep your knife. Okay, you see what I'm doing? You're just, you know, feeding it through. Or if you don't feel comfortable, you could just put it down and you can, you know, hands over the knife and just moving it up and down like so. And just bring this closest and just continue to do that. Wow, my parsley smells wonderful. I love the smell of parsley, and I love the fact that, you know, I'm able to grow it. And you can easily grow it in your home. Parsley does very well in containers, as long as you water it and you feed it and you keep it in some really good organic, you know, dirt. I'm just going to take a pinch of that and just add it right before it's over, because this is almost finished. That's how quick this went. Because remember, we cooked the meat almost, you know, almost done, but not completely. So then now I want to bring my platter over here, because I'm going to show you how I'm going to finish this beautifulness. And I am going to bring my zucchini noodles right in this platter, like so. Look at this. Look how beautiful they look. Don't they look like spaghetti? And they're so tasty and healthy. And when you drain it really, really well, it's not going to be a pool of water in your plate. We want to definitely have that deliciousness in our plate. When we're done with that, just look, see, just like that. Look how beautiful that is. And then now this is pretty much done. I'm just going to taste it again. The onions, I can taste the onions, the garlic. You know, that 1 teaspoon, and you know, and that's if you want to, the 1 teaspoon of garlic powder really brings it to a different level, to me. You know, I'm Italian and I love garlic. What can I say? Hey! And now, I want to come over here. I'm going to grab this. And I want to show you how I'm just going to do this. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that. And then what you want to do, you know, you want this to be seen, because this is going to be going into this deliciousness. And then what I want to make it even better is I want to come back and get some more of this deliciousness. Because you know what? I'm not letting any of this. No, 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 no. This is, I worked very hard for this. Didn't we work really hard for this? And then we're going to come back here and we are going to get the rest of the parsley and we're just going to put it right on top. Now, if you want, you can add some cheese. You don't have to add some cheese. I'm not going to add some cheese. I'm just going to have it like so. And then I'm going to bring it to you so you can see this low-carb goulash, keto goulash. Let me bring it to you so you can see this deliciousness. Look at this. Doesn't that look marvelous? And look how delicious this looks. It's for your health, guys. I want to thank all my sponsors. I want to thank you so much for joining me. God bless every single one of you. Love you all. Bye-bye.